Good afternoon, my kindergartners. And today is going to be a very fun day. We have a few things going on. So, what do you say we get started? So, before we start with everything, I kind of want to introduce the island and the character to everybody who's happened to be tuning into this channel that is not in my classroom. But this is Jordan. He's excited to meet everybody. He's the classroom character for our island. And the name of the island is called, drumroll, Edutopia. So you are more than welcome to visit once we have a Dream ID. But as you can see, there's not much really going on at this moment. It's just a bare island with a few helpers here to give us a hand along the way. For example, Pashmina. How many times am I going to bump into you today? Hang on. Am I being pranked? Is there a hidden camera? No. We're good. We'll talk later. So, normally with my class, we went to my own island because we have a classroom there, and that's kind of where I can showcase all the fun little critters we catch along the way. So, what do you say we take a trip and head on over to Avoland, which is Mr. Flores' main island? So we'll go ahead and do that now. Make sure your bags are packed and we are ready to go. Here we go. Let's talk to Dodo here. Orville, I'm sorry. Hey, welcome to your one and only gateway to the skies, the Edutopia Airport. How can I help you out today? Well, we want to fly. Roger. You want to head to a nearby island on local play or some far-off island on using online play? Well, I think it's going to be best if we just jump into this and go local. So here we go. Alright, and obviously I'm not any professional YouTuber here, so there is going to be some sounds in the background. I don't have a fancy sound room, so just bear with it if you hear some stuff in the background. Alright, looks like we got a flight for Avoland right now. That's where you want to go? Let's fly. Alrighty then, you're all set, and when you need to travel, just something or other, because I couldn't read it. There he is, and there he goes. That's his buddy right there. I find it funny. He just sits there in the back. I'm sure he's like reading a magazine doing nothing until he's called upon. And there it is. Look at that. Completely different from Edutopia. But either way, we're going to get there, boys and girls, I promise. Alright. And oh, look at that. There's Apollo running around doing his thing. Alright. Good deal. Okay, there we are. Hello, we're on Avoland. And look at me, no shoes. What is this? What kind of a guest am I? I'm not showing up with shoes, my goodness. Alright, Jordan, here we go. We're heading over to the classroom now. So this week's bug, while I'm making my way in, is actually a really unique little creature. It's going to be a bug this time, but it is unbelievably cool to look at. And here she is. It is an Orchid Mantis, boys and girls. An Orchid Mantis. So there's two words when we hear of Orchid Mantis, right? We hear of the word orchid, if you know what that is. It's actually a flower, a beautiful one at that. And look at that, the color is just amazing. It's very impressive. And I'll see if I can bring up another color in just a second. Let me see, move him out of the way for just a second. And this Orchid Mantis has a few features that are very interesting. So one of these that it has is, well, first of all, this bug is actually housed in flowers. He hides himself in flowers in plain sight, boys and girls, which is kind of cool. They're mostly found in South Asia, Southeast Asia. So I'm sure you've heard of China before and Japan. So when we look at a globe or a map today, we're going to look around the map to see if we can find Asia on the map. And then just point your finger a little bit down from there, and that's pretty much Southeast Asia, right? So let's learn a little bit more about this little guy. So they are actually carnivores, boys and girls. Do you know what a carnivore is? Well, a carnivore is an animal that, or a plant, believe it or not, that eat meat. My goodness, that's a little scary, right? I know. But it's kind of cool because he actually only eats bugs, so we're actually in the clear. Yeah, I know. So that's a good thing. So this little guy actually is known for what's called aggressive mimicry. And what that means, boys and girls, is when he's actually hiding in plain sight, he's doing it in a way to lure in his prey, right? And aggressive mimicry is just another fancy word for saying, like a wolf in sheep's costume, like in the Little Red Riding Hood. He's trying to fool Little Red by just wearing a sheep's costume when in fact he's hungry, right? And that's what this little guy is too. He's the same way. And what happens is, once he catches his prey, he goes right to eat. He just eats right away. I know it's a little scary, but you know what? It's still fun. And well, not fun for us nor the bug, but fun for him, I guess, right? But there you have it, boys and girls. That is the Orchid Mantis. How cool is it? And they don't get that big, actually. They only get about a few centimeters big, almost the size of your thumb. That's pretty much how they get. And there are some that get a little bit bigger, but the biggest question of all that gets asked about this little guy is what color? Is it always going to be pink? Is it always going to be blue, or whatever colors they are in orchids? And it really depends on the orchid mantis's location, his home. And in this case, I'm imagining he found himself a nice pink orchid, because there he is, nice and pink. But over time, if he has to move to a different place, he actually finds a new color, which is kind of cool. I know, right? So let's go ahead and showcase this, or show it off. Let's get out of my desk here. There you go. Thank you, Jordan. Make your way down. Okay. Oh, Jordan, where'd you go? Okay. So there you have it, boys and girls. An orchid mantis. It's very cool. So what do you say we head back to the island and get started with the next part of our little puzzle today? So if you're, like I said, if you're just tuning in to Flores Learns channel, the next thing we do is we take a look at our Tom Nook problem for the week. So that's going to be very exciting. So let's go ahead and make our way back to the airport and check out the problem of the week. What a beautiful island. Thank you, Mr. Flores, for letting us stay here. Okay, so as we make our way back to the island, let's go ahead and jump into this week's tasks or goals, and also check out our math problem. So here we go. Up at the top, we have our Orchid Mantis. That's our weekly critter. And there he is. Pretty cool looking, right, boys and girls? And then if we move to our right, we have today's tasks. So before we recorded this, I remember we were walking around our own island on Edutopia and just kind of picking up all the weeds and stuff like that, and just trying to pick up things and make it look a little bit better and earn some bells along the way. Am I right? And then all the way to the right, you see this big thermometer, and that's our goal. So as you could see earlier today in the episode, we were able to pay off our Nook miles, but I didn't get a house. But there you go. I've already set it up, so we are ready to go with 98,000 bells, right? So I'll leave that up to you guys to collect. In the meantime, on the middle bottom, it says some questions. So let's take a look at a few of those. This is how many resources did we collect today? What tool did we use today as well? And the last question says, how many tools did we make in order to accomplish our goal? Well, that's another interesting one as well. Again, today we're just going to work on Tom's Nook problem, which is all the way in the bottom left. Next to Tom, there he is saying hello to us. All right, so let's see. It says, what are 3 attributes of this shape? So first of all, we have to figure out what shape they're talking about. And I'm pretty sure after this lesson that we did on shapes, we're able to identify this one pretty quickly, right, boys and girls? That's right, it's a circle. Awesome, awesome. Now, there was a few attributes that we talked about that we knew for sure would make a circle, right? And I remember one of our students, one of our friends in the classroom mentioned that it is round, right? So remember when we were talking about the attributes, and we were saying attributes is just a fancy way of saying what it looks like, what makes it that shape. So for example, the circle, it makes that shape because we are talking about something that is round, right, boys and girls? So as we make our way around the island, little silly joke there. Look for things as Jordan's picking up some weeds here and cleaning up the island. Just see if you can find things that are round. All right, I'll give you a couple seconds to look around. Yep, that's right. I think I see one already. So there's some peaches hanging from the tree, and they have that same shape, boys and girls, right? Now, in math, we don't really say round per se, but we actually say it has a curve. So in these particular shapes, they actually have curves as well. So we actually call it a curve. Now that's one attribute. We need to look at another attribute as well. So let's take a look at that worksheet one more time and see what else it has. Okay, so the color, that could be an attribute too, right, boys and girls? So would you say that the attribute would be gray? That's right. It's gray. So that's our second attribute for this circle. It's round. It has a curve, right? And it's also gray. So now there's one more that they're asking us to do. So I wonder what that could be. So let's go ahead and leave that one to you guys. Maybe somebody in the classroom can raise their hand. Or if you're watching this and you're not in our classroom, go ahead and leave a comment on the third attribute. What else could it be? Okay, so in the meantime, while we're trying to figure that out, let's go ahead and head into resident services and see what's going on. I think we need to look at our loan balance. We need to check on how many bells we have, and maybe possibly pay off this Nook Mile loan that we got from Tom. All right, so let's see what happens. Okay, so another one of the big things on our island is the economy, correct, boys and girls? So we have a few responsibilities after we decided to take on Edutopia. So one of those is taking care of our loan, right? We had borrowed some money from Tom in order to pay off our trip. So the first ones are actually pretty easy. We just had to get, I believe, 5,000 miles. Yeah, it's 5,000 miles, right? But either way, let's go ahead and take a look at our ATM for right now. And the good news is they give us free miles just for checking in, so that's always a win, right, guys? All right, so I already checked in once, so they gave us some miles. But here we go. Let's check our little bank here. So there's two columns if you notice on the top, right? There's one that says loan balance, which is 0, and savings balance. So right now we don't owe him any money, but if you remember, boys and girls, we definitely owe him a lot of miles, right? So we'll check on the miles in just a second. But right here, we have two choices. We have one for deposit, which means we want to put some money in, right? And I think we have some money to put in. If you look on the top right, it says 3,600 bells. So what do you say we deposit some of that? I'm going to go ahead and put in about, let's put in 2,000 bells. Okay, so we'll do a math problem later on with our money here. But for right now, let's just go ahead and get this in there. All right, so that leaves us with a little bit of spending money, right? So we can talk to Timmy or Tommy and figure out what we can buy something with. Maybe perhaps another tool or something helpful. Okay, let's see. Now, let's take a look at our Nook miles, because that's another important part, right? So our mileage is on our phone under Nook miles. You see the little guy running around the world. And look at that. We have quite a few things to redeem here. So we're at 1,880 miles, right? So let's go ahead and start cashing these in. 500 miles. Now we're at 2,380. All right, now we have another 300. This is exciting. I guess when you first land on the island, you get quite a few miles for just doing simple things like picking up weeds, right, boys and girls? All right, now we have 300 miles more, so now it brings us up to 2,980. Oh, and look at another one. Here we go, another 300 miles. So let's go ahead and just start doing a few of these, just to kind of speed up the process here and not waste too much time. And there, oh, no, we still have more. We still have more. Oh my god, and there's 2 here, so we're definitely gonna meet our expectation. Or I should say goal. Oh, look at that, we're at 4,980. So we only need a few more miles to get us to where we need to be. And this one has quite a few, so I think... Yep, we've reached our goal. Da, 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 da. Awesome. Very cool. So now we can go ahead and pay off our loan. What do you guys say? So let's walk over here to Timmy, or I'm sorry, to Tom. We don't want to get his name wrong, right? Ah, Jordan. Hello, hello. What would you like to talk to me about? I'm all ears. What should I do? About my moving fees, or I'm good. Let's do about my moving fees. Oh, you'd like to pay your moving fees? Very well. You owe me 5,000 miles. Well, you know what, buddy? We have them ready to go for you. I'm ready to pay. Thank you so much. Indeed, that is 5,000 miles and not a mile less. With that, your movement fees have been paid in full. This is a happy day for both of us. I think we need a dance. What do you think, Jordan? Yes, yes, you're free and clear of debt, living on a thriving scenic island. What could be better? Uh-oh. Oh, that wasn't actually a rhetorical question. Let me be more specific. How is the tent treating you? I'm going to say it's fine, I guess, because, you know, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and take over the next time we play, so you guys can buy the house. Oh, just fine? But consider... doing fine on a formerly deserted island is actually quite good. We had to rein in his excitement for more money, huh? Together we're reshaping this barren pristine paradise into a lovely community. Ah, yes. But we mustn't rest on our laurels. How? Perhaps there is more we could do. Yes, yes. I suppose the time is right to discuss the possibility of building custom homes. So now he's going to try and sell us a home, but you know what? I'm going to let you guys be the ones to say yes to that. So I'm going to kind of speed a little bit through this conversation here and get back to our conversation. So Jordan, if you ever find yourself interested in a new home, do come see me. Oh, one more thing to share. We have a miles redemption service for the Nook miles you've collected. When you access the Nook stop, you'll be able to redeem your miles for lots of interesting things, which I think is pretty cool. Alright, well there you go. Thank you, sir. Yay, we finished it. But you know what? We didn't get a little dance, so I'm going to dance for you guys. There we go. Okay, so that wraps up another episode of Flores Learns. For all of you that were not in the classroom and tuning in, thank you so much for supporting the channel in any way you can. And for you guys at home and the classroom as well, thank you so much for watching, and tune in next time for another exciting creature, as well as another problem from Tom Nook. Bye, everybody.